Hello, welcome back to AJ's Creations by Johanna. So today we're doing a Dollar Tree witch's house. If you follow my channel, you know I love miniatures, and so I'm going to make a miniature witch house using all Dollar Tree products. Now, this little house is for this little lady that I got in an Etsy shop called Dream Fairy Gardens, and she is Teresa Carter, and she's the owner and designer of Dream Fairy Gardens. And she had this little lady that I want to show you. This cute little lady. Look at her. Isn't she precious? She's just adorable. And she is the inspiration. She needs a place to live. And these are the wood Halloween hanging decorations, I guess. Now there's a smaller one that I did the wreath. I had an extra one and I don't know where it went. But, you know, that one was a bit too small for her. Like, she took up the entire door. Whereas this, as you can see here in the door, whoops, don't fall, witchy poo, and she is perfect in the doorway right there. So we're just going to turn this into a three-dimensional house for her, as if it were one of my 1/4-inch miniatures. Now, difference here is, of course, I only have the front. Now, I've seen some projects that are very cool using two of them back to back and just putting boards in between and putting lights inside. But if you have seen my miniatures, the back is open and you can see inside, and there's, you know, a kitchen, a bathroom, a bedroom, and just living life in there. And that's what I want to do with this. From Dollar Tree, all I'm really going to need is one of these guys and one pack of these Crafter Square wood planks. I think the light is just shining off of that plastic something fierce. But it's the packets, and they have 6 of the boards. They have 6 of these boards inside. Now they come square and they come rectangle. This is the perfect size. Now you are going to have to cut. And what I did was I just basically took my house, put my plank, and it's kind of tilted because it is a haunted house after all, and I put it there, and I marked right here on the edge of this pink right there, and then drew the line and just cut that off, and there was my one side. Came over here, did the same thing. Don't cut them the same. This side is bigger than this side. And I did the same for the bottom, the middle, and the ceiling, okay? And basically you just mark where you want to put them and mark where you need to cut. The bottom one you have to cut, the middle and the top you don't need to cut, except there's a little edge and you have to cut a tiny little piece. Again, I'm not going to give you dimensions because you really do need to measure them. Mark them as you're measuring them, because these are not perfect measurements. My house may be a little bigger, a little smaller, and so it may not work for you. All right, so let me move this out of the way. And when I have all my pieces cut, I did the dry, that's all that painter's tape, which is what I do with any kit, even if it's pre-cut. I do a dry run by taping. All right, so there you go. I have my one side right here, my other side right here. As you can see, it's like this, right? My bottom, that got measured because it's a little smaller than the plank. Where I wanted the second floor, I didn't have to cut. That's fantastic. It'll all, I have it marked where it goes. And of course my ever trusty miniature level to tell me make sure that things are level right there. Here's the second floor. My ceiling, my top ceiling is falling apart. Sorry about that. but you know, that'll go there. And then this is the piece, because this is not long enough. You need this tiny little piece because this peak is a little lower than this peak. So because it's asymmetrical, you're going to need this tiny little piece right here. That again, I suggest you measure it when you're putting it and just mark it where you need to cut, because I'm telling you they're all different. And then I am going to put that right there. Okay? And that is where my ceiling is going to go. That is, the tape is kind of falling. I just wanted to do a dry taping together, and this is what it's going to look like in my little house, okay, with my ceiling falling and everything. And that's what it's going to look like inside. And you can put a partition if you want to partition it. I don't know, I'm not quite sure. And what I'm going to do is the inside, I am going to buy the tiny little furniture so that I can furnish it like a little house. Now, I may not be able to show you the final project of that, because that takes a lot of time to order the pieces, put together the pieces, make furniture, etc., etc. But I will show you an inkling of what it'll look like. Okay? So here we are. We are now ready to glue this house together, now that I have a good idea of where each piece is going to go after marking, cutting, and dry piecing. And now it's time to glue. So where we're at right now is I got my peaks in, and basically was very simply done by using those Dollar Tree boards, and just put it here, mark, 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 and mark, and basically cut them and glue them together. So now that my peaks are up, I've just kept painting inside, is basically all that's been done so far. And what I wanted to show you was I have this Folk Art Sparkles, and I think a witch deserves to have a very sparkly house. And so once I've painted the wall, I put the sparkle. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it on the ceiling, because that's what I did to the floor of the I guess the ceiling. So the second floor, I underneath it painted it white and did the sparkle, and all it does, it gives lit just a little shine that kind of goes with the whole witch scene. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the whole ceiling, the other two walls, and put in the middle floor, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have the inside almost done. It's all painted. I still have to do all the caulking and all these joints and all these connections. The floor is in. The walls are painted. I used some leftover ribbon from also Dollar Tree that have little cobweb. So I'm going to leave that alone and start working on the outside, where I'm going to start by just sanding everything down and getting it ready for paint. I'm going to do the caulk, also from Dollar Tree, and just caulk all the seams, let it dry, finish sanding, and paint the outside. Be right back. Alright, so it's painted. It's all painted up, looking old and dingy and creepy crawly. And now I want to do some shingles up here because I don't like how it looks just plain painted. I'm going to do some shingles. They're going to be very spontaneous. This is sandpaper, just basic 3M 120 sandpaper, so it has a little bit of a texture. I'm going to dry brush it in black and then cut out some strips of shingles. So let me paint this up and I'll show you how I'm going to cut it up. Okay, I have now painted the sandpaper in black. So now it has like this nice little texture on it. And what I did was, with a ruler, I marked out, I eyeballed it, about how wide I want my shingles to be. I mean, I guess how long in this case, because we're going this way. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a series of lines, and it's very crooked. But it doesn't matter, really, because it's a wonky house. You want it to be a little wonky. So I'm going to cut. The first one is where the edge of my shingle is going to be, so that I don't overcut. The second line, let's see, where can you see that there's both lines? This is a good one. So the first line is so that I don't overcut. The second line is where I'm going to cut through for the strip. Pretty much this way. So I'm cutting through on the second line. As you can see right here. That one. And you just cut on the second line all the way down. And again, the second line is your strip cut line. Now, the first line, let me see if I have one that you can see the first line. No, you can't. I'm sorry about that. But here is the first line where this is where I'm going to go in and just kind of eyeball in different sizes. I'm going to stop at that first line when I'm cutting. And I'm going to do some a little wider than others. Again, we want it to be a wonky little house, so we don't want everything very symmetrical. We'll do some a little longer, some a little smaller, and it'll give it a lot of interest as far as the final look. Alright, and then as you can see, I haven't cut all the way through. I just cut to that first marked line, which will give me the shingle, and then this little strip at the very top where I can glue it down. Alright, I'm going to finish cutting up my shingles and I will be right back. Okay, so now I have all my strips. Okay, and you will get some messy, staining of the paint. So what we do is we start at the bottom. Start here. The overlap so that comes down. And we'll cut it right in there. There we go. And we'll glue this down. There is my glue. I'm going to use this Crafter Square glue that is not too shabby. It's just a little bit that's in the bottle, but it's not that bad, considering it's only $1 at Dollar Tree. So far, the only non-Dollar Tree item that I'm actually using that you can't get there is the sandpaper. I don't know, there are Dollar Trees out there that have sandpaper. I know mine doesn't. So, alright, and there we have the first row. Okay. Alright, so now they're all hooked together. Alright. So now here we go, the second row, and we're just going to offset it a little so that you can still see a little piece of it down here, and you put the other one on top. You see? Take a look at the roof at your house and you'll see what I mean. It's just a little offset there, you know, leave just a little bit peeking through of the bottom, and put the next row down, and the same thing, the same thing, until you have your peak covered. The peak goes the other way. In here, I'll be back to show you how exactly we're going to put our shingles in the middle. Okay, so I have now covered the little peaks, just offsetting, and I'll trim and clean up all the edges once I'm done. So now we're going to do this flat. It's as easy as it can be. You just layer them facing forward one at a time and just keep going. Well, actually, you start from down here and go up and just keep going until you have all of the pieces. And that's it, pretty much. Once your roof is done, you are done with the house, and we're going to try some decorating inside. So here we are, and the little house is finished. It's all painted, and this is a pack for some lights that I put inside. I've already started to finish the inside. And what you see is little plastic furniture that I had left over from many other miniature products that I've done. Now, these you can find anywhere. You can do them in wood. You can find other plastic like I did, and just furnish it if you want. If you don't, all you need is another one of these, and then just put it on the back, and that's it. You have a full three-dimensional project. I wanted to have a miniature setting for my little witchy poo. There's my little girl right there. And she's going to live in this house. And so I have all these little furniture pieces that I have to finish putting on. But I wanted first to show you how I want to finish it. Now I put, as you can see, some cobwebs and things inside because it is a witch's house after all. And all I did was I got this also from Dollar Tree. It's called the spider webbing. And it does have some little, here they are, like some little spiders and stuff that of course I'm not going to use. And because it's so small, you know, I just cut off little pieces as I need them. Now, I have to do some of the outside, and that's what I want to show you. Let me move my little furniture out, put my little house flat. So I was thinking, where do these cobwebs live? We're just gonna, you know, pull some of this out. I wanted to have some of the thicker as well as some of the thinner. Not as much cotton on there. Here we go. So I'm just going to cut off a piece that I pulled out. I'm not going to lie, it's a pain in the butt to deal with. Not the easiest material. But I figure up here, I'm sure a lot of little critters live. And we can maybe put some of this up here that you can see through that little opening. And you just kind of stretch it out. And you can do as much or as little as you want, or not at all. If you like it without it, that's fine too. And here we go. And here we go. It is an old witch's house, and it does have to look spooky and creepy. Otherwise, the kids won't be scared of the witch's house, right? We know what she does with little kids. So if we don't want the kids to be dinner, not that my witchy poo would do that, but here we go. Here we go. And just do something like that. I don't want to go too crazy because I'm one of those that I probably would. I have this nasty habit of just overdoing things. But it looks kind of cool, as you can see. I'll just kind of hang it over the side a little. There you go. There we go. Some towards the front here. I can use my angles to hold it in place, because that's another thing. This thing sticks to your fingers, and just a little bit like that to give it that creepy crawly. Now I also have, oops, some of these stickers also from Dollar Tree. I'm trying to use as many materials as possible. I think I'm going to use this witchy hat. And I want a bat somewhere. And maybe a couple of pumpkins. Not too scary. I like these pumpkins. Let's see. I don't want them too scary. Again, Witchy Poo is not a bad witch. She's just an in-between. She's a softie that wants to be bad or act like she's bad. We need our black cat, of course, even though the one she has is not black. So I think what I'm going to do is put them here to see if I actually do want them. I want a bat around here. I know I want a pumpkin right around here, maybe. The kitty cat right by the door. And of course, the hat right up here because it is a witch's house. And maybe another bat over here. Is that too symmetrical? That's another one of my bad things. I love everything to be symmetrical. I think I like that the way it is. All right. And the good thing about these that they are stickers. So we'll just take off the back. And they're those felt dimensional stickers. And they're in the Halloween craft area at Dollar Tree. And there we go. There's her hat. And we'll put her bats over here. And it'll give it a little bit of whimsy. Now, you can get the scary bats and you can get a little bit more serious Halloween decorations on it if you want to make it really spooky and creepy. I wanted a mixture of witchy things with some whimsy because like I said, she's a softy witch trying to be evil, which she's not pulling it off very well at all, because she is after all a sweet little witch. So that was what I was going for. So I wanted my decorations to be a little bit more whimsical, but with a touch of scary. Okay, so there's the outside of my house, and it's pretty much done for me. So back to the inside. What I did on the inside was I glued at the top some of this, what did they call it? Spider webbing. Just so that she could have some cobwebs on the inside. You can put more, you can put less. It's entirely up to you. I did this yesterday, and after sleeping on it, I've decided that less is more, because I'm having a really hard time putting my little furniture in. And the webbing was just sticking to my fingers and knocking everything down. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the webbing. So maybe she cleaned up a little, I don't know. But again, our Witchy Poo is not your typical evil witch. She's a very misunderstood, sweet little old lady, let's call it. That looks like a witch, I guess. And that likes witchy things. All right. So let's talk about the lights. So the lights are the ones that you get also at Dollar Tree. Now I was going to put orange inside. Unfortunately, these orange ones didn't work when I put the batteries in. And I had bought a pack of purple and a pack of orange. I wanted orange inside because my house is black and orange and black and purple inside, so I wanted orange. And I am going to exchange these for a pack that I hope works. And I may go back in and put the lights in orange. For now, they are purple. I'm going to turn them on so you can see them. I don't know, because I have lights on and all that. I don't know that you'll be able to see very much. They are more blue than they are purple. I will say that. And again, this is where they have the Halloween electronics As you can see, they're a little more blue than purple. And of course, with all the purple that's inside the house, they really are reflecting in blue. All right? But I do like how it looks. And I just think it's coming out really, really cute. Okay? I'm going to turn this off for now, save some battery. And all I did was I taped the wire inside up to the ceiling of the little house, so that when you look at it, you don't actually see it. But let me flip it and you'll see the wiring. I just put tape and just taped it onto the ceiling. All right. And then brought it out and glued this to the side. See, I get all these little fuzzies stuck. All right. All right, so now what I want to do now is see how I'm going to do her little house. I'm going to put some things in place, see how it looks. And there's a lot of accessorizing still left to do. I'm not sure whether I will or not. Put this over here on the side, I think. And this over here. Okay, let me start gluing these things now that I know where I want it. And so I am going to glue it all in. And I'll be right back. So here is the finished house. It is now done. You can see with the stickers, and I don't know if because of the lighting there, if you can see all the cobwebbing. Sorry, all the mess all around it. That's my work table. Okay. And then we have the inside of the house. There's the side. And the webbing. And the inside of the house. All of this was made, except for the furniture and the doll, was made from Dollar Tree items. The front of the house is the hanging wood ornament. The sides of the house, this is all the wood planks that comes in a package. I think there's 6 in a package from Dollar Tree. The roof, second floor, bottom, all from those wood planks. This side, of course, is our lighting pack, also from Dollar Tree. They are in the Halloween electronics section. It's an end cap somewhere in the store. They have those little lights. These are the purple ones. As I explained earlier, I wanted orange on the inside. Unfortunately, those lights didn't work, so I put the purple. And I think what I may do is hang the purple on the outside of the house. Hang them out, and it'll be orange on the outside, even though I wanted orange on the outside and purple on the inside, but best laid plans and all that. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, Witchy Poo's house made with Dollar Tree items. I hope you liked this video, and I hope that you join me for all the future fun activities that we'll do, and crafting and all sorts of other goodies as I find them. I do love to make crafts out of weird things, including all the Dollar Tree stuff that you can get. It's incredible how much crafting you can do just from Dollar Tree items. And if you like this video, please click like, leave a comment if you have any suggestions, and I hope you follow me by just clicking the button that says subscribe, and hopefully I will see you soon. In the meantime, keep crafting. Bye.